Hi, I'm Andy, co-founders of Foco Academy, functional health and wellness coaches. As the world starts to wake up to the new normal, a lot have changed. So we're also tweaking the focus of our messaging on how to get ahead in this new environment, this new world. We're still focusing on time, health, and relationships, and we're still utilizing the same set of success principles. Now, I hope you want to live a longer and healthier life because, well, why wouldn't you? Last time I talked about the first thing on your health transcript to help you live a longer and healthier life. If you missed the last episode, make sure you go back and watch it. With everything going on right now, knowing what to do could even save you from getting seriously sick or even death. In 10, 20, 30 years from now, do you have a clear vision of how your life will look like? Now, I remember how my own parents were back in the day when they were in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, into their 80s. And as their child, I watched their bodies slowly decay year over year, and there was nothing that I could do about it to help them. But I can do something for myself. I know that I don't have to get old, sick, and weak like my own parents did. I know I can keep myself healthy and my energy level high, even as I get older. And I can also show you what to do so that you can also stay healthy and young and vibrant. So in 10, 20, 30 years from now, do you want to be vibrant and full of energy? Will you be enjoying and sharing your long and healthy life with all your loved ones? Now, or are you still thinking about your mortality? How long you're going to live? What's your healthy lifespan? What's, more importantly, your unhealthy lifespan? And who's going to take care of you when you get old? Well, the media and news outlets make it sound like we are living in desperate and scary times because that's what they do. The news media's main goal is to grab your attention with the most effective way, and that is to throw absolute worst piece of information at you. Just think about it. You hear on the news that hundreds of people are dying, and immediately you feel scared, right? You worry about you being one of those that's going to die also. But what if, instead of telling you that hundreds of people died that day, they tell you that 10 billion people are okay? And that on average, every day, 100 people die of various causes anyways. Accidents, sicknesses, homicides, cancer, etc. Then you'd be like, oh, okay, maybe that's not that bad. That's pretty boring news then. So no, unfortunately, that's not what the news would tell you. They want to keep you entertained, and they do that by throwing bad news at you. Even the government, surely they won't lie to you, right? But what is the administration's number one goal? It is to get reelected and keep those donations flowing through to them. Look, if you really do believe that your government have your best interest in mind and they're doing everything they can to keep you safe and healthy, then all I'm going to say is that we got some work to do. So what's the truth? You must seek the truth yourself. You cannot simply rely on what the news media and the government chooses to tell you. There are a lot of data that's not shared on mainstream media and it's censored. If you go and look at that data, you'll see that cardiovascular death is high on that list if you catch the virus or if you're getting jabbed. Knowing this information, what are you going to do about it? Well, here's my suggestion, which is actually the number 2 metric that you should be measuring for your health transcript anyways. It is your Thumper health or your heart health. Even before the whole pandemic craziness, most people would only check their heart health maybe only once a year when you go for your daily checkup. And during that annual checkup, the nurses would most likely want to check your resting heart rate, your O2 saturation, and your blood pressure, right? And in these crazy times, To be honest, you may not even have gone for your annual checkup for the last 2 years. Even if you did, it's not enough. While it's good to see what your heart rate is right at that moment, it's not a good indicator of how healthy you actually are over a longer period of time. And more importantly, getting these measurements once a year does not help with your longevity. This is another metric that is totally non-negotiable. You must know this metric for yourself. And it blows my mind that for most people, even though they have the ability to track this daily and it's free, yet they don't do it. Now, are you one of those people? It's quite easy to tell. Look at your wrist. If you're one of those that wears a watch, do you have one of those fancy electronic devices such as an Apple Watch like I do? You see, these devices don't just look cool on your wrist. It isn't just a fashion statement, and it's not just for convenience of checking messages and email. They actually have a lot more value to you than that. The smartwatches and smart rings such as the Apple Watch, Fitbit, Garmin, Samsung, or even like the Oura Ring that I have here, they give you something that your smartphones cannot give you. Your smartphones cannot track your heart rate continuously on a daily basis. These things can. They track your resting heart rate when you're working out and all the times in between. Now, just like how the stock markets look at trends, the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs, you should also monitor the trends of your heart rate at different times of your life. The first one is your resting heart rate. This is the average your heart beats per minute when you are inactive and relaxed for several minutes. The best indication of your resting heart rate is when you're actually sleeping. That's going to be your lowest resting heart rate. Now, normal resting heart rate for adults is between 40 to 100. The lower the number, the better your heart health and cardiovascular fitness. As you get healthier, your resting heart rate should also slow down. Look at your trends. If your resting heart rate is trending up recently, then look for events that cause the increase. If you normally have a resting heart rate of around 60 beats per minute, and lately it's like at 80 beats per minute, well, you have a problem. It may be due to stress, lack of sleep, bad diet, weight gain, or something a lot more serious. Now, there are other metrics such as the HRV and VO2 max, which are also very important, but we'll cover those in a future episode. For today, the number one thing I want to talk about is, which is very important indicator of your longevity and your health, is your Thumper recovery, or what is called your heart rate recovery. Heart rate recovery, or HRR, is the rate of decline in heart rate after you exercise. You measure your heart rate right when you stop exercising, and then measure it again a minute later, and then one more time 2 minutes later, and then you subtract one from the other. The decline in heart rate immediately after exercise has been shown to be a function of the reactivation of your parasympathetic nervous system. It is accelerated in athletes and unfortunately blunted in patients with heart failure. Now, here's how to accurately measure HRR. Start by getting your heart rate to at least 80% of your max heart rate. Your max heart rate is simply calculated by 220 minus your age. Well, I'm 51 years old, so take 220 minus 51, and that means my max heart rate is 169. And 80% of that would be 135 beats per minute. So for me to measure my HRR, I'll get my heart rate up to at least 135, stop exercising, and then measure my heart rate. Wait 1 minute and measure my heart rate again. Then, and again, in another minute, measure one more time, and see how much your heart rate drops over that last minute. If your heart rate drops less than 13 beats per minute in 1 minute and less than 23 beats per minute in 2 minutes, that's a really bad sign for your health. HRR is one of the best metrics to help track your longevity and your actual age. If your heart rate recovery in 2 minutes is 68 or above, then you have superb heart function and you are a lot younger than your actual age. If you have 58 to 67, then you have a great heart function and you're considerably younger than your actual age. If you're 49 to 57, then your heart function is good, while you're slightly younger than your actual age. And if you have 24 to 48, then your heart function is average, while you're probably about the same as your actual age. But if you're 23 or below, then your heart function is weakened or perhaps damaged, and you're definitely older than your actual age. For you, please go back and look at your workout history. You should be able to see what your HRR trends are. And if you have never tracked your heart rate recovery number, I suggest you start tracking that immediately. It is that important. Well, I hope by the next episode, you'll have both your vitamin D levels that we talked about before and your heart rate recovery numbers. These will help you start on your journey for living a healthier and longer life. Next time, we're going to dive into more ways to simplify how to live a longer and healthier life. Until next time, love what you live and live what you love. If you like what we've been teaching over the last couple of years, we invite you to join our Foco Daily program. Every day, we will release one bite-sized lesson to you to help you with your productivity, your finances, nutrition, exercise, relationship, and longevity. Not only do we wish that you have a long life, we also hope that you have the quality of life that you truly desire.
And having the best health, relationship, and finances will help you live a happy and joyful lifestyle with the people that you love and care about. No matter where you currently are with your health, finances, and relationships, the Foco Daily program will help you achieve greater success in your life, be a better person for your family, and accumulate more wealth. Sign up now to be on a VIP list for exclusive discount when we launch our program.